All right, good everyone. We are going to be looking at this physics question, physics MCQ question, and I'm going to show us how to answer this question without no stress. Okay, the question is under the topic measurement in physics, and it says the inner diameter of a test tube can be measured accurately using a what? Is it a micrometer screw gauge? Is it a pair of dividers? Is it a meter rule? Or is it a pair of vernier caliper? Now, the answer to this question lies between micrometer screw gauge and pair of vernier caliper. We all know meter rule is used to measure straight line, the length of a material, so it's not the answer. So it's within micrometer screw gauge and pair of vernier calipers. So we are going to look at the functions of a micrometer screw gauge and function of a pair of vernier caliper. So what are the functions of a pair of a vernier caliper? We use vernier caliper to measure small length. Use it to measure small length, and a good example of this is if you want to get the thickness of a meter rule, use the vernier caliper. So the vernier caliper is used to measure the thickness of a meter rule, the internal and external diameter of a tube, the diameter of a rod. We use a vernier caliper. I repeat again, we use vernier caliper to measure the thickness. If you want to get the thickness, of a meter rule, the thickness of a meter rule, if you want to get the thickness of a meter rule, you use the vernier caliper. Then you want to get the diameter of a rod. You want to measure the diameter of a rod. You want to measure the diameter of a what? Of a rod. Measuring the diameter of a rod. And if you want to measure the internal and external diameter of a tube, if you want to measure the internal and what? External. The internal and what? External diameter of a what? Of a tube. So these are the three uses of a vernier caliper. You have the thickness of a meter rule. If you want to get the diameter of a rod, if you want to get the internal and what? External diameter of a what? Of a tube. So you can actually use di-T to remember it as a mnemonic. So vernier caliper what? Di-T, diameter of a rod, internal and external diameter of a tube, then T is thickness of a meter, or you can call it diet. So use diet to remember. These are the functions of a vernier what? Caliper. So now let's go to micrometer screw gauge. What are the functions of a micrometer screw gauge? So if you want to measure smaller length, you make use of a micrometer screw gauge. So if you want to get the diameter of a wire, if you want to measure the diameter of a wire, this time it's not the diameter of a meter rule. So diameter of a, not the diameter of a rod. This is diameter of a wire. So we are going down to smaller length. So diameter of a wire. If you want to get diameter of a wire, if you want to get the diameter of a small ball, so if you want to also get the diameter of a small ball, so the diameter of a small ball, like a pendulum bulb. So anything that is circular, something like that is like a ball, if you want to get the diameter, you make use of a what? A micrometer screw gauge. Or if you want to get the thickness of a piece of paper, so if you want to get the thickness of a piece of paper, the thickness of a what? Of a piece of paper. So if you want to get the thickness of a piece of what? Paper, you make use of the micrometer screw gauge. Remember, the first one is the thickness of a meter rule, not the thickness of a piece of paper. So you have thickness of a meter rule for vernier caliper. Remember the diet we made mention of. But yeah, it's just the diameter of a wire, the diameter of a small ball. So you can use this to remember. You can use do, and then you can use dub. Remember that B is a ball, small ball. Dub. Then you cannot use the thickness of what? A paper. So these are the mnemonics you can use to remember what is the function of a micrometer screw gauge. Do, dub, and top. do, dub, and top. Diameter of a wire, diameter of a ball, that's small ball, then the thickness of paper. So do not confuse it for the mnemonics we use to get the uses and function of a word of a vernier caliper. Alright, so these are the mnemonics. I believe we've grabbed the mnemonics. So let's go back to the question. What do you think will now be the answer? The inner diameter of a test tube can be measured accurately using a what? Micrometer, screw gauge, pair of dividers, meter rule, pair of vernier calipers. So what do you think is the answer now? Remember, for the formula, the mnemonics for vernier. Okay, what mnemonic did we say we can use to remember the function of a vernier caliper? We use diet. That's diameter of a rod. To measure the inner and external diameter of a test tube. Then the T is now the thickness of a meter rule. You see now. So the inner diameter, remember, is in our diet. So we already know that vernier caliper might be the answer, because it should be the answer. But then let's take a look at the micrometer screw gauge. We said do. The mnemonic was what? Do. That's diameter of a wire, diameter of a small ball, and the thickness of a paper. So which one is now the correct answer? So the correct answer is what? The what? D, which is a pair of what? Vernier caliper. Very, very good. Very, very sure you got the answer too. So please, if you gain value after watching this video, do well to follow our social media handle on Facebook, on YouTube, TikTok. You can also follow my own personal handle at Victor's Glucagon or Victor Ezugu. You see my Facebook handle, or you follow our tutorial page, Special Medics, on Facebook. So please, if you really want to learn more in our tutorial, you can join our online tutorial. Our online tutorial is currently ongoing. You can message us on our Facebook platform so that you register for the classes. There are powerful classes that will enable you to scale through all your exams, your JAMB, your post-UTME, your WAEC and NECO examination, and you see yourself coming out with flying colors at the end of the day. Until next time, please do well to like, do well to share this video, and refer us to your friends. Thank you. So in case you want to message us, this is our number.